Okay, before you guys get on me, I do understand that this is a buff Kitana video, and I know people are sick of hearing that this character is bad, and the community that plays this character, specifically Fan-Fare, has been pretty vocal since day one that, hey, this is the variation that's supposed to represent Kitana. She's supposed to be this rushdown, aggressive assassin character. Why is Fan-Fare so weak compared to her other two variations? Her Fearless being her zoning variation, Highborn being a jack of all trades, and Fan-Fare is supposed to be this aggressive assassin classic rushdown katana style, but it's really not. It is the weakest out of the three. And I just want to mention a few suggestions I have for this variation, ideas that NRS could implement or do something similar to make this variation better. And a way to do this is, first I would tackle her projectile parry move, this move. So I would give this move a complete new meter burn option, and basically what it would do is if you meter burn this move, it would make it so she enters her level 1 or level 2 or level 3 depending when you do it. So let's say you just do it, you hit the meter burn button, she will now gain a buff even if you didn't absorb any kind of projectile. It would just do a buff automatically. So you do it, you press the meter burn, and now your fans would be glowing blue just like that. So what this would do is, now it would give Kitana a way to enter her buff without having to absorb a projectile. You wouldn't have to wait for your opponent to throw something. You could potentially do a combo and then do like a special cancel into this and then meter burn, and now you'd have a way to go into it. Now, I wouldn't only just do that. I would give her protection move way more buffs to Kitana in making it better for the character. Ways of doing this are this. I would give her special properties to a lot of her fan attacks when she has a buff active. So for example, one thing I would do is, if you notice, Kitana's throw when she throws you is 14% like everybody else, but if you happen to throw them when you have a fan buff up, it still does the same damage. I would give her increased damage depending what level she's in, because I mean she's hitting you with her fans, but it's not doing increased damage. So I would give her increased damage when she has buff up. I would then enhance some of her normals, her fan attacks, and give them special properties when her buff is up. So for example, let's say you have a level 1 buff up. This wouldn't change depending on the level 1, 2, or 3. It just would count from level 1 to 3. It wouldn't matter which one. If you're level 1, you're going to gain these properties. So the first change you would get is, if you have a buff up, your down 1 now becomes 6 frames. So now you having a buff up would give Kitana a 6 frame poke. So now she'd be faster up close. She'd be able to take her turn back. Be able to pressure a little bit better, and combine that with her having an amplified strike throw game, this would already make her better up close. Another thing is, I would make her forward 222 string this. I would make the second and all the hits after that overheads. Now when this buff is up, this string, the second hit, and the rest of it all become overheads. I would make her 3-2-1-2 string when you have the blue buff up. I would make this string become special cancelable. So now you have a new string to go into either special moves on block. You have a new string to possibly create new combo opportunities for Kitana. So I would give her 3-2-1-2 string that property. I would just make it special cancelable when she has her buff up. Another thing I would do is I would make it so her 2-1-4-3-4 string, this move, I would make it so if her fans are glowing blue, she could cancel into her float move before the last hit. So on the 4th hit, before the last hit, she could cancel into it when her fans are glowing blue. And this would basically give a use to the string, give another use to it, and it would potentially give her some new offense or mix-up opportunities, because now she would be able to go into it before the last hit and then potentially fly down with more pressure and do all kinds of mind games with that. And of course, I would also give this to her back 3-2-1, 4-3-4-3 string. So this string, if you have your parry up, and you decide to do her buff, if you have her buff up, this entire string would, again, it would become canceled before the last hit. And before the last hit, it wouldn't knock your opponent down. So potentially, Kitana could even maybe do this into her string, float, and then maybe continue the combo and go into a fan lift and then get even bigger damage that. So I would do all of that for Kitana's normals. Being able to basically go on will for a bar of offensive meter to be able to give herself the buff, and then on top of that give her all these properties that would enhance her up close and rushdown game, is what this variation should have. She should have something like that. She should gain more than just a slight increase to damage with her glowing fans. And lastly, I do want to mention this, If you happen to have this buff out, the last thing I would do is I would give her Throat Slice new properties. If your fans are glowing blue when she has this, this move would become a mid attack that's -6 on block. So not only would you gain all these new properties, a faster down 1, more damage on strike throw, but you would also have a Throat Slice move, a special move that's -6, completely safe, and it turns into a mid. So this is just ideas I think NRS could create for Kitana. I think this would solve also the depth issue that people are saying. People are saying variations in this game don't have as much depth. So if NRS were to extend what variations could do with their moves and create more properties for them, create more opportunities for players to create how they want to play with the characters, and you know, I mean, this variation is supposed to be about offense and aggressiveness and damage, right? So why not make it do that, but also kill two birds with one stone by making her being able to amplify her parry move on whiff, and then being able to gain all these extra properties. Anyway, let me know what you guys think, and thank you so much for watching. I will be also making some videos like this on other variations in the game that people feel are too weak.